Hi, I'm Justin Ott, physical therapist and founder of Ott Physical Therapy. Joined today with a good friend of mine, Terry Downey. Terry, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Justin. I'm a physical therapist on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Um, I'm an orthopedic certified specialist. I work for Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital, uh, 4 days a week. And the fifth day, I work with Spalding Adaptive Sports and I run their adaptive mountain bike program.
You've always been passionate about helping others. Ever since the day that I met you, I could tell right off the bat that that was a passion of yours to be involved in the community and doing things that you love. And finding ways to enjoy cycling was always an easy thing to know that you are always up for helping other people out. What are some of the different physical impairments and diagnoses you've seen getting involved in cycling?
So in the adaptive mountain bike world, it's we typically hit a clientele that likes the higher end activity, little thrill seekers. So I have a lot of my riders with spinal cord injuries, amputees, head injury, some people born with a disability, say spina bifida, but it's really no limit. Anybody who can't ride an upright bike, we can adapt to a adaptive mountain bike.
And just like treatments in the clinic can differ for specific needs for the patient, the same premise applies to matching the right bikes to the right cyclist, I would imagine. So, what is considered when determining the needs of the cyclist to be for the equipment, and how do you match them with the right bike?
So if you can see over my shoulder, that's Zach. He's on an arm bike. So he's paralyzed waist down. So can't use his legs. So he's actually prone on that bike, his chest on a chest plate when he's pedaling. So he's pedaling with his arms down below. When he's going down a hill, he uses the handlebars, which have the brakes on them. So we have all different styles of arm bikes. Depending on the rider, we have some that the whole bike articulates under the person for the higher end rider. We've got cross country bikes, we've got downhill bikes, and those are all arm cranks. Then we've got leg bikes. With a leg bike, pretty much anyone can use those, even if they have partial function of their legs. We can set up different pedals. We can set up AFOs. I have another bike that's set up for a full quad. So as long as you can shrug your shoulders and move your chin, you could ride that bike. So there's really something for everyone out there.
I remember coming out with you the one time and you had me test out the arm bike. It was a workout. Like this is no joke going into these. It is a workout adaptive to what you can do, but pushing you to the limits too, which is always amazing to see with adaptive sports, just how people can push themselves when you wouldn't even think of that as an approach sometimes. But I will say the arm bike is quite a workout. If you ever get a chance to do it, and try it out. It'll make you sweat in 5 minutes, that's for sure. It's not always easy to know where to start when looking into a new hobby you're interested in, or that you're interested in, that you've never participated in. For someone that is interested in pursuing adaptive cycling, what would be your recommendations, and what is the process of getting a bike in this that is specific to the individual's needs?
Oh, that's a tough one. So, we have rehab hospitals all over the country. Most of us have adaptive sports programs. The mountain bike program is probably one of the newest but fastest growing. The availability of mountain bikes, we started, I think, 6 years ago, and they were just starting to be mass produced is a big word. They're all still custom built because the market's not there for mass production. But more and more companies are jumping in the bandwagon. They start at about 10 to 12,000. With the assist, they go 18 to 22, 23,000. Start off with finding a good program. We try to keep all the different bikes that are out there in our inventory for people to try. And then there's lots of grants out there. I help people with grants all the time. I'll write letters saying they've come and tried this bike multiple times. They've tried these other bikes. This is the perfect fit for them. So that's a good way to get into it, but it's expensive.
Yeah, that sounds like it for sure. That's like buying a brand, like a car at some point. And that's difficult to want to get motivated to go into this. So just getting that information out there for people that want to do this but don't know where to start, I think that's very valuable because that is very expensive and it's not an easy thing to kind of stomach when you're not sure if it's even right for you. So the fact that you can give practice or get people out there to see if this is a right fit and then give them recommendations, I think that's a fantastic thing. What are some different events that you have been part of? I know we're talking about the different places that you can get the bikes and how it's set up across it. I know that you've traveled all across the East Coast. I can't even remember all the places that you said you would go out there, but you've covered a lot of miles on your bike. But what are some of the different events that you have been a part of, and what does it take to get involved for cyclists that wish to join in the future?
Cyclists, all they have to do is find us and sign up. So Spalding Adaptive Sports, you go to the website and you can just sign up. I've been working with New England Mountain Bike Association, which is an able-bodied association that kind of does all the trail building, trail advocacy all up throughout New England. And they have been incredible advocates. There's 36 chapters. They all now include adaptive trails. When they're building new trails, they're using adaptive specs. So it's something that's really just taking off in the past few years. Probably my biggest event I went to was a few years ago up in Vermont. We had 23 cyclists with spinal cord injury for 3 days, rustic camping, no running water, no power. And I had this one young man who was freshly injured, not very happy. And I kind of forced him to come. And then he bailed. And then I called his dad and said, "Can you please force him to come?" And that changed his life.
That's amazing. That goes into what I want to ask you too about like looking back at my career. It's safe to say that I have memorable patients, that their success stories have always stuck with me, and it's a badge of honor almost for me in this profession. It always brings a smile to my face when I think about it. So just like you with the cycling, can you tell me a little bit more? I know that do you have any stories that stand out? It sounds like you do with this one that I want to go into more, and just how adaptive cycling has made a positive impact on that cyclist's life.
Yeah, so this one young man, he did come to the event, and he learned from the other 20-something people with spinal cord injury, just like him, that life could be pretty darn good. And he went from there. I hooked him up with somebody I knew up there that was an avid skier and mountain biker, cool guy. So I'm like, "Will you please be his mentor?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." So we built that bond, and then he started skiing, and then he started volunteering skiing. And now he is training for the Paralympics, not only as a downhill skier, but for a summer sport for rowing. So he's gone from, "I don't know how I'm going to live my life," to top of the world. And
That's amazing.
it's amazing.
I always love hearing. I know in Pittsburgh they had the adaptive sports for hockey, and just seeing what it can do and open it up. We have a friend that does a Paralympic curling. So there's so many opportunities to open up doors. I think that just people knowing that they're out there, especially when you're in a hard time where you're living a life that you might not be expected or had been expecting or always envisioning because something unfortunate might have come up, but it has such a positive impact, and it's a great community to be a part of. And some of your events going out, it's just everyone that's there, you're having a good time. There's a competitive factor, but there's just a level of just fulfillment that you get and love around that community.
Also, the really cool thing is, I have two local riders here that both have their own bikes. One I got on the upright bike now. She's bilateral amputee. There's no information on riding an upright bike as an amputee, and she is just killing it. She's now able to ride with the able body rides. And then I have another friend who's paralyzed, waist down, and he has his own bike. His is one of the bikes that articulates, a little more narrow than some of the other bikes. He can pretty much ride any trail we ride. So the two of them come to our able body rides on Friday and Monday nights. And they are just educating the whole mountain bike community about adaptive riders and how they're the same as everybody else and how much skill they have when they do those trails. But Chris, on the arm bike, he's a Paralympic skier, and he said, "I didn't think there was another sport that I could do side by side with an able-bodied person like I do skiing." And he is just loving it.
That's great. And then even coming in, like you were saying, you got to kind of like, just think out of the box, the creativity and the intuitive approach that you have to have. I remember seeing your trailer where you come into it, and it's your own workshop, and it's Santa's workshop, but of things that you don't know exist yet, but you got to make them because everyone has their different needs. And I always thought that was just an incredible thing that you would do that. Everyone, even if it's the same injury, what their capabilities, what they need, their needs are, you're able to tweak things and kind of just think outside the box because you're making things that I know this is becoming more mass production to get it out there, but you're taking them and making them specific. So it is crazy to see what you do that you can make something just so fine-tuned to be perfect for the right person by going through this.
It is fun. That's the fun part.
One of the big things that I'm trying to promote too is how not only for patients or clients that want to look into different opportunities and with adaptive cycling or just adaptive sports in general, I think it's a huge opportunity to get involved with. But just people in the community, like you're saying, able-bodied, but also other physical therapists. I always think it's great to get involved. We have a skill set and knowledge that we can help people as well. But how are some ways that others can get involved and help with the adaptive cycling community?
We're always looking for volunteers. I have some, and again, you just go for me, you go to Spalding Adaptive Sports. I want to register as a volunteer, fill out some paperwork. And then, I have some people that don't ride, but might have good mechanical skills. I love that, right? They come fix the bikes for me and help me work on them. Other people just know the trails really well, so they make good guides, even if they don't have the specific skills for, the person itself. They make a great second person. So I can utilize anybody's skills. I'm always looking for volunteers.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great community to get involved with. So highly recommend it. Anyone that's looking into it, I'm gonna put information up here too, so you can easily find how to get involved and reach out. But I love what you're doing, and I hope you continue to do it and excel with it and get more and more support because I think it's something that's so necessary in the community. And it's just a great cause.
Well, I'm glad you got to come check it out while you were out this way.
You took us out. It was like New Year's Day, and we're doing the what are they called? The fat tires down the dunes. It's a workout. I got a nice bike and everything. Doing the road bike is one thing, but you took me out. It was raining in the Cape, and I'm using the arm bike on the one. And I just remember going home and wanting to take a nap. I was like, that was a great workout, and it's a great people to be around. And then just meeting up in the parking lot afterwards, kind of just have that community base of chatting and just enjoying what you did. There's something euphoric about it.
Thank you. It's a great community. It's a lot of fun.